Hello and welcome back to Drawing with Mrs. Mills. Nice to see you again. Just want to do another video today about drawing eyes. And yesterday I forgot to tell you what materials you're going to need. So I recommend some white paper, a pencil. I'm going to use a marker so you can see really clearly when I draw, but you can use a marker if you want, or you can do it all in pencil. And then some colored pencils to color. So yesterday we talked about how to draw an eye, which is great, and I'm really happy if you drew an eye, but the thing is, eyes usually come in twos, and one of the problems a lot of people have is how do I draw two eyes that look kind of the same? So today I am going to do some lines with my pencil, and then I will be doing the drawing over that with a marker so you can see what I'm doing. So when I want to draw two eyes, I always start with that sort of classic cross line that you see a lot of artists do, like that. And this is just to help me get situated. Now, one mistake a lot of students do is they draw a really beautiful eye and they draw the whole thing, and then they can't make the matching eye. So I like to draw them together. And how do I do that? Well, just like yesterday, we're going to start with that arch. Just like we did yesterday. Remember, it was the smooth mountain. And we're going to draw the next one. You want about the same width distance between your eyes. So look, this one, same width, and then draw my second arch. Try to get them pretty similar. I know it's hard. So, if you set this up right in the beginning, you're going to have less problems as you go along. So let me check. Okay, it should be, this distance should be all about the same from here to here and about the same from here to here. So we're pretty good on our distance. I'm going to take a second and go over this in pen just so I know that you can see it. All right. Now, just like yesterday, we're going to do that lower lid, which is going to be a little bit straighter line. And I'm looking back and forth between the two to kind of make sure they match up. I don't want to find out at the end that they don't match up. So I'm going to kind of come out here. All right, so as you can see, they look nice and even. They look like they belong together, which is great. Now let's do the irises again. Now remember, your person might be looking straight forward, or he or she might be looking to the side. I'm gonna go kind of straight forward. So I'm just gonna do that partially covered circle for each. Do them at the same time, because if you do them at the same time, you can tell if they're looking the same. At this point, my eyes are matching up pretty nicely, both looking forward. So I know I can go in and add the other details that I want to add. Let's do the pupil again, leaving a little shine. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to add in my upper lid. That looks pretty good. Let's talk about eyebrows for a second. I drew them in yesterday. I'm going to do a little bit of a curve just to make sure they match. And sketch those in. Again, the eyebrow is usually sort of a up and then down. Up and then down. And then in between here, there's what I like to think of as a nice keystone shape. Keystone, like this. See it? So, I'm going to come in, darken up my eyebrows. I always think about the way the hair moves. So, it kind of comes out this way. You could do that. You can have a little fun, kind of making that very artistic if you like. And then these eyebrows kind of come come together here in the middle. All right, so now I've got two eyes. I've got eyebrows. If we wanted to start thinking about the nose, not to get too far ahead, but I could start to sketch in kind of where that nose is going to go. Because one thing I don't like is floating eyes. I don't just like a floating eye in the middle of the paper. I want to think about the rest of the face, the forehead. We're going to get into all of that later, but long term we don't want floating eyes. So let's do the color again. I'm going to do green eyes today. I might, if I can find an eraser, I might grab an eraser and clean up. Let's see. I could clean up my pencil lines just so that I have a nice fresh paper to start on here. Clean those up a little. Okay, so I'm starting with my lightest, which is a light green, and just like yesterday, I'm going to do those sort of stripey things I was doing. There we go. And I'm going to take a darker green, shadow up by the lid, down at the bottom, just to make these eyes sparkle. So if you want to be extra and do a little extra today, you can grab some tan colors, some browns, and you can do some skin tone. You don't need a lot of colors to do skin tone because you can just vary how hard you push. Now, for this person, I'm pretending the light's coming in this direction because my sparkles are over here. So as I start to shade, I want to remember that maybe this side is a little darker, and as it moves, it gets lighter. So remember, this is sort of like a sphere. If you've ever colored a sphere, darker and then lighter, and then over here, the same thing. And there's some really nice anatomy in the eye right here. This is actually the orbital socket. This is the brow bone. So a lot of time there's a highlight right here, and if you ever do makeup, a lot of time you put a highlight right there. So I'm just going through, I'm using one color, it's called Venetian Red, just to get some context here for where my eyes are. And if you remember yesterday, I didn't even put the eyelashes and stuff in. We can still do that. I also did not color the gray part in the eye like I showed you yesterday. Let's pop that in there real quick. Oh, and our pink. A little pink right here. Ooh, that's bright. So you can see I'm starting to give a little bit of an idea of the face beyond just the eyes. And that's what I want you to start thinking about as we do more. How can we move from just doing nice eyes, which are fantastic, to doing a full face with a nose and a mouth and all that stuff. And I'm gonna come back in and put my eyelashes in. Just like yesterday, here come my eyelashes. All right, that was a lot for today. So I hope you learned something, and I look forward to seeing what you make. And I hope you have a happy creative time. Thanks for drawing with Mr. Mills. Mr. Mills. Mrs. Mills. Bye.